Across the endless deserts of our planet, beneath the shifting waves of golden sand, lie stories that time has tried to erase. These are not just stories of ruins or broken stones. They are the voices of civilizations that once flourished, traded, dreamed, and disappeared without leaving a single clear explanation behind. The desert has always been a place of contradiction. It destroys and preserves at the same time. It swallows entire cities in silence, yet protects them for thousands of years beneath its surface. Every gust of wind can both erase the past and reveal it again, exposing fragments of walls, tools, or human bones that once belonged to a world we can barely imagine. For centuries, travelers and explorers have crossed these vast deserts guided only by rumors, legends, and curiosity. They have followed faint trails in the sand, ancient maps drawn with trembling hands, and stories passed down from generation to generation. Many never returned. Those who did spoke of strange sights, ruins that appeared for a moment and vanished with the wind, lights flickering under the dunes at night, and footprints that led nowhere. Scientists try to understand these mysteries through evidence and excavation, but even the most advanced tools cannot fully explain the feeling that these places carry. Standing in the middle of a desert where the horizon seems endless, one cannot help but feel that something ancient is still alive, hidden beneath the sand, waiting to be found. The silence here is not empty. It breathes. It hums with the memory of lives once lived. In the distance, the dunes shift and change shape, as if the earth itself is whispering the forgotten names of its lost children. And so we begin our journey, not just across geography, but across time itself. A journey into the unknown, where the line between history and legend fades. Beneath these sands lie answers to questions older than civilization. Who built these lost cities? What forces buried them? And what truths still sleep under the sun, waiting for the wind to uncover them once more? The forgotten kingdoms of the desert. Long before modern borders divided the world, vast kingdoms rose and fell across the deserts. These were lands of power, faith, and mystery. Today, only fragments remain, shattered walls, broken statues, and traces of life scattered across the sand. Yet each ruin tells the story of a people who once defied the impossible and built civilizations in places where survival itself was a challenge. In the heart of the Sahara, thousands of years ago, rivers once flowed where there is now only dust. Ancient kingdoms like Garamantes thrived in what we now call emptiness. They built underground tunnels to bring water from deep aquifers, created farms, and traded with distant lands. Their cities shone like mirages under the scorching sun. But then, almost without warning, they vanished. The sand reclaimed their homes, and silence replaced the sound of life. To the east, in what is now Sudan, the kingdom of Kush rose beside the Nile. Its people built grand temples and pyramids that rivaled those of Egypt. Their queens and kings ruled over a land rich in gold and history. Yet time and the desert swallowed them too. The wind erased their roads. The heat cracked their monuments. Only the whispers of their glory remain. Across Arabia, other lost realms shared the same fate. Ubar, the city known as the Atlantis of the Sands, was once a powerful trading hub on the incense route. Caravans passed through its gates carrying treasures and spices. Then one day, the city disappeared, swallowed by the desert after a great collapse, leaving behind nothing but legends. These forgotten kingdoms remind us that the desert is not empty. Beneath its surface lies the memory of humanity's oldest struggles and dreams. Each grain of sand hides the dust of palaces, marketplaces, and sacred places. As archaeologists dig deeper, they find evidence that these lands were once green, alive, and full of movement. But perhaps what draws us most to these vanished worlds is not what they left behind, but what they took with them. Secrets that no one has yet explained. Mysteries that rest beneath the sands, waiting for another sunrise to be revealed. Egypt's vanished settlements and the river that moved. In the story of lost cities, few landscapes are as haunting as Egypt. Beyond the shining pyramids and towering temples lies another Egypt, one that time has nearly erased. Hidden beneath the sands of the western desert and along the shifting paths of the Nile are the remains of forgotten towns, abandoned ports, and villages that once stood at the heart of the ancient world. Thousands of years ago, the Nile River was not where it is today. It was alive, unpredictable, and constantly moving. Civilizations grew along its banks, depending on its floods to bring life to the soil. But when the river changed its course, it changed history itself. Towns once thriving along its edge were left behind, cut off from the water that sustained them. Slowly, they died, buried under layers of sand carried by centuries of wind. Archaeologists have uncovered ghostly outlines of these lost settlements, streets, workshops, and even homes perfectly preserved beneath the desert. In some places, the sand sealed them so completely that time seemed to stop. Pots still filled with grain. Tools left on tables. Footprints hardened in the dust. It is as if the people simply vanished, leaving their world behind in an instant. Among the most mysterious sites is Tanis, the city once called the northern capital of ancient Egypt. For years it was hidden beneath the dunes, mistaken for a myth. When it was rediscovered, explorers found massive stone blocks, temples dedicated to forgotten gods, and tombs untouched for millennia. Tanis revealed a parallel world to Thebes and Memphis, a civilization erased from memory by time and shifting sands. Further south, near the desert edge, the ruins of Amarna tell another story. This was the city of Pharaoh Akhenaten, a ruler who dared to change Egypt's religion and defy its traditions. For a brief moment, Amarna was a city of light, art, and devotion to a single god. But when Akhenaten died, the city was abandoned and cursed, left to decay under the desert sun. Today, its ghostly ruins still carry the weight of his forbidden dream. Egypt teaches us a painful truth. Even the mightiest civilizations are fragile when nature decides to change its course. The river that once gave life can also take it away. The sand that buries death can also preserve it. And the silence that follows can last longer than any kingdom. Atlantis of the Sahara, the enigma of the eye of the desert. In the western heart of the Sahara lies a formation so vast and so strange that it can only be seen in its entirety from space. Known as the Rikhat structure, or the Eye of the Sahara, it spans nearly 50 kilometers across the Mauritanian desert. From above, it looks like a perfect spiral carved into the earth itself. For years, it puzzled scientists, historians, and dreamers alike. Some see it as a geological wonder. Others believe it is the final trace of a lost civilization. When early astronauts first captured images of this mysterious circle, the world was stunned. Its shape was too precise, too symmetrical, too intentional to be dismissed as coincidence. Theories spread quickly. Some claimed it was the remains of a meteor impact. Others suggested it was an ancient city, eroded by thousands of years of wind and time. And then, a more daring idea emerged. Could this be the true location of Atlantis? According to Plato's writings, Atlantis was a circular island surrounded by rings of water and land. Its temples and towers rose high above shining plains. It was said to have vanished in a single night, swallowed by the sea. But what if the sea was not an ocean at all? What if, thousands of years ago, the Sahara was green, full of rivers and lakes, and the Eye of the Sahara was its capital? Satellite imagery and geological studies show that this region was once fertile. Rivers once flowed where sand now stretches endlessly. Fossils of fish, crocodiles, and shells have been found deep beneath the dunes. The evidence suggests that long ago, this place was alive, a land of water, not fire. Archaeologists have not yet found the ruins of any buildings or artifacts inside the eye. Still, the shape, the size, and the location continue to ignite debate. Some believe ancient floods and erosion erased all traces of what once stood there. Others insist it was never a city at all, but a natural formation shaped by the Earth's own hands. Whatever the truth may be, the Eye of the Sahara remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of our time. It stares silently into the heavens, a timeless reminder that our planet still holds secrets older than memory itself. The sands around it shift and swirl, as if protecting whatever truth lies beneath, an echo of a story that refuses to fade. The lost Nabateans, guardians of Petra's hidden legacy. In the deep canyons of southern Jordan, carved into rose-red cliffs, lies one of the most breathtaking cities ever built by human hands. Petra, the lost city of the Nabateans, rises from the desert like a dream caught between myth and memory. Once a thriving center of trade and culture, today it stands silent, its facades glowing under the sun, whispering stories of a people who mastered both the desert and time itself. The Nabateans were a mysterious civilization. They appeared suddenly in history, leaving few written records, yet their knowledge of engineering, architecture, and water control was far beyond their era. In a landscape where rain might fall only once a year, they created an advanced system of channels, dams, and reservoirs that captured every drop of water. It was this mastery that allowed Petra to flourish in the heart of the desert, hidden between towering mountains and narrow gorges. Traders from across Arabia, Egypt, Greece, and Rome once passed through its gates. Spices, silk, and gold changed hands in its bustling markets. But Petra was more than a city of trade, it was a sanctuary of art, religion, and secrets. The grand facade of Al-Khazneh, the treasury, carved with impossible precision into the rock, stands as a symbol of their genius. Some believe it was built as a royal tomb. Others think it was a temple to lost gods. No one truly knows. Yet as suddenly as they appeared, the Nabateans vanished. Their cities grew silent. Earthquakes and shifting trade routes may have brought their decline, but even now, archaeologists struggle to explain how such an advanced people left so little trace of themselves. No great battle is recorded, no mass exodus written. Only the stone remembers. When the modern world rediscovered Petra in the 19th century, it was as if time had paused there for 2,000 years. Explorers found a city both alive and asleep, carved into cliffs that glowed with color at dawn and dusk. Every step through its narrow passageways feels like entering a sacred secret, guarded by the desert itself. The Nabateans remind us that knowledge and beauty can exist even in the harshest of places. They turned emptiness into art and silence into civilization. But the question remains, where did they go, and what did they leave hidden behind those carved walls? The answer, perhaps, still lies buried under the same sands that once protected their city of stone. Beneath the Arabian sands, cities swallowed by time. Across the vast deserts of the Arabian Peninsula, from Yemen to Oman and deep into Saudi Arabia, lie traces of cities that once stood proud beneath a green and fertile sky. Thousands of years ago, these lands were not seas of sand but fields, forests, and rivers. People built homes, temples, and trading routes that connected empires from Mesopotamia to the Indian Ocean. Yet as the climate changed and the rains faded, the earth itself began to erase their presence. The deserts grew, swallowing everything in their path. Among these forgotten places lies the fabled city of Ubar, sometimes called Iram of the Pillars. Ancient texts describe it as a wealthy city, ruled by powerful kings who defied divine warning. Its towers reached toward the heavens, and its merchants grew rich from the trade of frankincense and myrrh. But pride led to downfall. Legends say that one night, the ground beneath Ubar opened, pulling the entire city into darkness. The wind covered what was left, and only endless dunes remained. For centuries, Ubar was thought to be nothing more than myth, a desert legend meant to warn against human arrogance. But in the 1990s, satellite images revealed patterns under the sands of southern Oman. Archaeologists followed the markings and uncovered the remains of ancient fortifications, deep wells, and trade routes, signs of a city once alive. Whether this was truly Ubar remains uncertain, but the discovery proved one thing: the desert still hides pieces of our forgotten past. Other ruins scattered across Arabia tell similar tales. In Yemen, crumbling walls rise from the sand like bones of forgotten kingdoms. In the empty quarter, the largest sand desert on Earth, explorers have found remnants of settlements buried dozens of meters below the surface. Beneath those dunes lie streets once filled with life, now trapped in a silence that has lasted for thousands of years. What caused these cities to vanish? Some blame great sandstorms that buried them alive. Others point to drought, famine, and trade collapse. The truth may be a combination of all. Nature does not destroy quickly, it erases slowly, with patience. Every year, the desert takes a little more. Standing in these places today, there is no sound but the wind. The horizon stretches forever, and the air feels heavy with memory. Somewhere below, perhaps only a few meters down, lies a world once filled with laughter, prayers, and firelight. Now it sleeps, undisturbed, beneath the Arabian sands, waiting for the day when it will be found again. Modern discoveries, satellites, drones, and ancient secrets. For centuries, the mysteries of the desert belonged only to travelers, explorers, and dreamers who risked their lives to find what lay beneath the dunes. But today, technology has become the new explorer. The eyes that once searched the horizon are now satellites orbiting high above the Earth. The hands that once brushed away sand are replaced by drones, sensors, and radar able to see through the very skin of the planet. Modern archaeology has entered a new age of discovery. Satellites scan the deserts using infrared and radar imaging to detect hidden structures buried deep below. What the human eye cannot see, technology can reveal. Entire cities have reappeared as ghostly outlines on computer screens, roads, canals, and foundations invisible from the ground but perfectly clear from space. In Egypt, satellite imagery has uncovered over 1,000 previously unknown settlements. Beneath the sand, these scans revealed patterns that match the shapes of ancient houses, temples, and streets. Some lie near the old courses of the Nile, confirming that where the river once flowed, civilizations followed. Others are isolated in the desert, their purpose still unknown. In Sudan and Libya, drones fly low over dunes, capturing images that change the way we understand the past. Thermal cameras detect temperature differences between sand and buried stone, exposing walls that have not seen sunlight in thousands of years. Archaeologists can now map entire ancient cities without digging a single hole. But perhaps the most fascinating discoveries come from comparing modern data with ancient texts. Some locations once dismissed as legend are now being reconsidered. Places like Ubar, Tanis, and even the Eye of the Sahara are being re-examined through digital archaeology. Each scan, each pixel of data, brings humanity one step closer to understanding what really lies beneath. Yet despite all this technology, mystery remains. Machines can show us where something is, but not always what it means. The sand still guards its secrets with quiet dignity. Every discovery opens new questions, new possibilities, new stories waiting to be told. The more we uncover, the clearer one truth becomes. The desert is not empty, it is a vast library written in dust and time. And for the first time in history, we are finally learning how to read its pages. Echoes of eternity, what the sands still conceal. As the sun sets over the dunes, the desert turns to golden shadow. The wind moves softly across the endless waves of sand, shaping new forms while erasing the old. Somewhere beneath, hidden from sight, lie the stories of humanity's earliest dreams. The lost cities may be silent now, but their presence is everywhere, in the stones, in the air, in the quiet pulse of the earth itself. Every discovery we make is only a fragment of something larger. A piece of pottery. A buried wall. A forgotten road that once led to a city now gone. Together, these pieces form a story that reminds us how fragile our place in time truly is. Civilizations rise and fall. Rivers shift. Empires disappear. Yet even when everything fades, the earth remembers. The sands of Egypt, Arabia, and the Sahara are not lifeless. They breathe with memory. They keep watch over the ruins of kings and travelers, lovers and warriors. Each grain carries the trace of someone who once stood where we stand now, looked to the horizon, and wondered what lay beyond. Maybe that is why these mysteries continue to draw us closer. We search the past not only to find answers, but to understand ourselves, to see that the desire to build, to explore, to leave something behind, is what connects us to those who came before. And so, as another night falls over the desert, the story of the lost cities remains unfinished. The sands will shift again. The winds will uncover new secrets. And somewhere, beneath the quiet surface of time, another forgotten world waits to be found. If you enjoyed this journey through the mysteries of the ancient deserts, remember to subscribe to my channel and share your thoughts in the comments. Your ideas, theories, and curiosity help keep these stories alive. Let's continue exploring together, uncovering the hidden corners of our world, one mystery at a time.